wrong tagline at the bottom. I beg your pardon. Let me change that out quickly. Should have checked that before. But this was from the previous live that I had, and now it goes away. So welcome. So let me just double check that we are live on the platform itself, because I don't want to spend half an hour talking and then have no one actually watching. So let's see. Can I hear myself? So
I believe we are live.
Yeah, we are live. So hi, welcome. So nice to meet you, Robert. I think this is the first time I'm going live with you.
Yes, nice to meet you too, Sebastian. I've been getting to know you through the world of social audio, so it's nice to finally do a live with you. I'm a big fan of your work, and it's always good to be in the company of LinkedIn gurus.
Oh, thank you. I think you yourself are a guru yourself too. So you have got 70,000 followers on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I have quite a large following on LinkedIn, that's for sure. I've been on the platform for over a decade. And what's interesting, because as a recruiter turned business owner turned podcaster, seeing how the platform has changed, because as I came on the platform in 2008, the way I use it now is completely different. So yeah, I've been on that journey.
But so tell us a little bit. So we're here today because we're talking about entrepreneurs itself. And so I'm one. I've been one since I was 16 and never stopped being one, even though I work for other people in the meantime. And you yourself, are you a full-time recruiter on your own, or are you working for a company? How is it going?
Yeah, so I own my own legal recruitment company called KC Partners, but I brand ourselves as more of a talent solutions and content creation firm. So very different to traditional recruiting, because as I mentioned before, I think it's all about standing out, being different, and hence why we're having this conversation and jumping on a live. I think as an entrepreneur and as someone who's always curious and thinking outside of the box, you have to approach marketplaces differently to stand out. There's so much competition out there, and if you're a startup or you're looking to get out there, you need to have some ways to break through. And so yeah, that's why we've switched to content creation, podcasting, community building, all of those other facets to stand out. And then as an extension of that, then we can kind of get a real hold on the marketplace and start gaining market share. And so yeah, I launched my business 5.5 years ago.
But you see, this is the one good thing that we have, and I think now we can see Haley.
Hey.
Good morning. You're everywhere, Haley.
Hey, Haley.
It's just amazing. I'm just amazed by you. So you see, this is the thing that I think that's really amazing, because you couldn't have done this if you were just working for somebody. You couldn't have just said we're going to switch from recruitment to content creating, even though we know that content creation is going to help recruitment because you have content that people follow and then it's going to help. But most companies wouldn't go down that road, because they would say, let's stick to what we know. Let's just do what we know, and let's not go out of the box, because going out of the box is not good for us, and tra la 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 la. So tell us, what has made you turn into an entrepreneur? Is it just because of the freedom in choosing how you work, or is there more reason for that?
Yeah, very good question. So I always, from a young age, similar to you, was in some form of entrepreneurship through, any thought of, we're selling things, we're going out there, we're hustling. Yeah. And I always wanted to eventually have my own business. But my reason and passion for having a legal recruitment business is my grandfather was a very successful lawyer who ran his own law firm in the UK, which was one of the most successful outside of any major London law firm in the 1950s. So I wanted to combine my recruitment experience and break into the legal industry and carry that family legacy on. So I guess that's my rich why for why legal. And I always wanted to have that freedom. I didn't like the world of corporate, where I couldn't run with an idea or express myself, or you'd get too much red tape, and so many ideas are lost within big corporate because people don't take action, or they just procrastinate, or they just overthink, and then nothing ever gets done. And so in my business, I'm a massive advocate for let's test, let's try, let's be open, let's embrace change, let's be first, let's not be the follower, let's actually be the one who's the first. So that's really my mentality, and hence we're the first ever legal recruitment company in the world, I believe, to launch a podcast.
Really? First?
Yeah. There's lots of other legal podcasts, but a recruitment company geared to legal, I didn't know of another one before us, and that was when we first started. And so now there's lots of them have cropped up.
Nice. I think that's a good thing to know. So for me, I came into entrepreneurship because I came from a very simple family, and I had to put myself through school. So I literally started working at the legal, whatever that be around the world. Let's put it that way. I was talking to someone who's in legal, so I'm going to be nice and let's talk. And I put myself through secondary school. I put myself through high school. I put myself through what do you call that? University. And the only way I could afford it was to actually be working on my own, or working on my own company, because there's no one's going to pay me that much at that age with the level of experience behind. So I went into fitness instructing, and it was paying 60 an hour. And I could be happy with it. It was quite a lot for Singapore. I mean, you go in, you jump around on the stage for an hour, and you get $60 pop. And that was good. But then I realized if you actually have your own company and you pay for the license, you get paid $140 an hour instantly for doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I still go in, I still hop around, I still scream and shout, and I walk away with 140 instead of 60. So I was like, why not? I just had to do a bit more admin work, which in the end I got an assistant and just pass it on. Because I'm really not good. And my assistant at the time was awesome. He does everything. And I'll be like, I was so dependent on him. Like after a while, I couldn't do without him. It's like I came out of an apartment like, John, do this, and he got it before. He even knows what I need before I need it. So I cannot complain about it. So
that's like a dollar from Suits. Have you ever seen Suits?
No.
It's a great it's a fantasized legal show, and there's a main character called Harvey Specter. It's not too representative of the law, but his EA or assistant is always 5 steps ahead. So he's like, "Where's my ex?" And she'll be like, "There." He's like, "Where's my?" And she'll, before he finishes his sentence, she's like, "Here." And I just think that's a prime example. If you can find those people, like you mentioned there, they can just make your life so much easier. They can think ahead before they know what you need before you even know it. I
love that. I missed one. I couldn't find one. I mean, I have 2 teams. I have one team in India, one team in South Africa, but there's only the South Africa one is almost close to that. Very, very close to that. It's amazing. So, but at least we digress. So coming back to the topic of entrepreneurs and platforms. So now you and I've seen you being prolific on LinkedIn. I've seen you prolific on Clubhouse. I've seen you join almost every room that I've been in Clubhouse, and I'm known for joining a lot of rooms in Clubhouse itself, because I don't want to just promote my club. I want to actually go in and give value, because that's what my brand is about. It's about where can I give value? Where can I add on and give in to you and help you with your growth on LinkedIn and anywhere else. And the thing I find is that being prolific everywhere is good, because you get to know the platforms. Now, you and I, we met on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, and now all of a sudden we found each other on this new platform, Entrepreneur. And I just like stop calling it entree. It's not food. I'm hungry, but it's not food. I'm Asian, it always boils down to food. It's always about food. My best functioning post is about food, no question asked. I can post the best LinkedIn tips and I get crappy metrics. I post 1 meal of my sushi on it. It was a boat, I get it, but yeah, still, and I get thousands of engagement. I was like, dude, I give good advice, but no one cares.
Shows you how the platform is changing. It's when people say that should be for Facebook, it's like, you're so 2010, like you've missed the boat.
Thank you. I love you when you say that. So
it's just so wrong.
So if you guys don't know Haley is also a virtual assistant, and she is am I right, Haley? Just let us know in the comments below. There's a 10 seconds, 20 seconds delay, but Haley's is a VA that's available too. So if you're looking for one, check her out, definitely. I've seen her being prolific with content management as well. So I would say she is good in all that factors. And because we also know Haley on Entra, and the thing is on Entra is that, let me just say why I like it and why I actually paid for membership. So I'm known to be one of the cheapest person, because I came from little. I'm not like those people who comes right on board and say like, okay, I'm going to pay for StreamYard full. I'm going to pay for this and that. I am very careful before I buy each app and pay for a subscription, because I want to know that I can use it to the max. So I've been on LinkedIn for so long now, instantly, that I actually pay for premium, because of the fact that I know now the premium differences that it's going to make for my career, or my job seeking or my business itself. Then I pay for it, and I know I'm going to use it to the max. I wouldn't pay for something that I use 10%, because that's why companies employ me, because I go in and I change systems and change tools that they spend millions but use like hundreds of thousands worth. And it's like, why are we doing that? Like, take them out and run. Take it and run. Yeah. So Entre itself, I actually was very surprised that I actually paid membership in almost like within a week.
Yeah.
And the main thing was because I can see this, I can see how I can make money off the platform immediately. So for Clubhouse, I didn't pay anything. On LinkedIn, I didn't pay anything until recently. But on Entre, it's paid for it right from the start go, because you could actually monetize immediately. So Robert, tell us how you can monetize from the platform itself from day one.
Yeah, so Entre, why I also like Entre, and it's great, and I think we're talking a lot about here about omnipresence as well. So the fact that we saw each other on Clubhouse, we took that to LinkedIn, we've now took it to Entre, we'll no doubt get to Twitter, and so I think it's very important nowadays that we have all of these resources available to us, that we embrace them, because they're tentacles. They're a chance for you to be out there, to be visible, because you never know who is watching. They may not always be engaging, but people are watching you. And so eventually when the time is right, they will get in touch. Like some of my best clients have come through, not necessarily engaging, but watching, and then reaching out, and that magic DM comes in. Hey, Rob, I've been watching and following your podcast content, or I've seen you're a thought leader in the legal recruitment space. Can I pick your brains? Bang, because I've been consistently showing up for my community, adding value, and eventually those followers will then convert. But in terms of Entre, yeah, you're absolutely right. With the pro version, it is ready-made for people. If you are a content creator, if you are a speaker, if you are someone who likes to present, then it's basically a LinkedIn, come Zoom, come Clubhouse, come Calendly, come everything in one, and it's brand new. So there's a very, very easy chance of you to become an early adopter on this stage, because it's still in beta form. So what you can do with Pro is you can actually schedule paid events right from the start. I think it's a nominal cost. I think it's £88 if I use the UK conversion, so less than £90 for the entire year. But then you can get that money back if you just charge $10, $20 for one event and you had 10 people show up. You've already got a return on your first paid room, and it's easy. They take the headache away. You can link it up to your Stripe account. That takes minutes to do, which is then linked to your own bank account. So that removes all of that headache when it comes to invoicing, chasing up, payments, because it's all inbuilt for you. It's also video. So with a lot of the audio at the moment, they're pure audio, but with Entre, they also have a web form where you can actually do it as video, and the video quality is excellent. A stage further than that, you can also then present. So let's say you've got slides. With a lot of the social audio apps at the moment, it requires you to have various other things going on in the background. With Entre, you can have your video on and you can have slides by your side, and you can be presenting to your audience whilst also reading the back channel room chat. It's got room chat to take questions, to engage with people in the audience if they're giving you emojis, clapping of hands, or letting you know how things are going. So you can control and do everything in a one-stop shop platform. It's really designed for entrepreneurs, professionals, people to really network with the creators and speakers and thought leaders in mind, and trying to give you access to monetize. If you're adding valuable content that is valuable, then you should have every right to be able to earn a living off the back of doing that. So I think it's a super exciting time. They also have lots of news features, so you can find out what some of the trending news are. Why is that good? Because it can help you rise with thought-provoking room creation ideas. You can then newsjack. We all know how important newsjacking is on LinkedIn for getting increased visibility, and maybe you're chucking a poll to do some newsjacking to make it thought-provoking. Maybe you're chucking some sort of post with a hook, related to, we're seeing a lot about the metaverse at the moment. It's easy to just get a kind of viral post going with you link something to that, because you're newsjacking to what's going on in the world. So yeah, I think Entre is super cool. I think Michael, the founder, is entrepreneurial. He's been observing this social audio space. They don't call themselves a social audio platform per se, because they're more than that. They're more than that. And so, I think it's exciting. I think this is the one that, if LinkedIn were going to do something, this is how I would have thought LinkedIn would have done it. And so I'm excited to see where this one goes.
Yeah, we've been waiting for LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has done a lot. Let's be fair with LinkedIn. LinkedIn has done a lot over the last few years. We used to have one product launch every 2 years. And just this year itself, we have more than 5 different product launches, and we thought it's cool. But then come this Entre, and And it's amazing. I love this part about being a founder or being a new a pioneer and on a platform, because it's so clean, it's so pure. It's the sound is just, it's like you walk into the forest and all you hear was the birds and the trees and nothing else. And you get to shape it. So we're like on the Slack channel, and we get to go in and say, like, this is not working, and there's this UX guy who's really big there, and he shares a lot about what can be done, and it's almost like snap, it's done.
And what's also really cool, particularly if you're a podcaster, you can record your rooms and then you can download those and you can use them. So there's two things you can do with that. One, you can just distribute that as free content, or actually you could make that as part of your Patreon, put it behind a wall content for a one-off special where you maybe brought someone onto Entre, did a special episode with them, and then people who subscribe or pay that £7 or £10 or $10 a month get access to those bonus episodes. So I think it's a super exciting time for the world of social audio.
So let's do it this way. So now we talk about it's what I call a multimedia format platform.
Yeah.
Because you can do audio, you can do text, you can do videos. I love the fact, because we were testing the platforms itself. So as a test, I launched my video workshop. So how do you do videos on it? And I found it works very well, because I could actually go in and be on a stage, share my screen, and as long as I had on my laptop, just sharing my capturing like what's capturing right now, and it was really cool because then I could record that, and I turn it immediately into my videos on my web that I could actually just sell on, either to the people who are actually attending the workshop itself, where they're supposed to pay. Original price was about $30 per person, which is not a lot, because I go in to teach all the way to advanced, like how you use green screen, editing in such a way that you actually have transitions and snapping, and it's almost like fun videos that you can use for everything. So what I want to say is this: when we attend a Clubhouse call, we share a lot of tips. And you and I know you, I've heard you, we share a lot of tips.
A mountain of sugar's worth.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I keep forgetting my brand, I'm on brand, off brand, on brand, off brand. And when that happens, we don't get remuneration for that. We do not get for sharing tips on LinkedIn. If anything, people are actually making money off us in Clubhouse, because we go into a room, we share our tips, and they then turn it into content, or they tend to turn it into a podcast where they actually sell it for money, or they actually sell it as a workshop or whatever it is, that a masterclass that they do. And I'm like, why am I contributing to people's money making tree when like, what about me? Like, where am I going with this? What about me? And so when that happens, I'm like, okay, why don't I do it for myself? So why don't I run rooms anyways? Why don't I turn my rooms, and for you is podcast. Why don't I turn that into, if you want to do it this way, let me just give you guys a tip. This is my workflow that you can want to make money this instant, right here, right now, based on your Clubhouse presence. Go into Clubhouse, get 10 people come in and tell them you're going to teach them about something that you're doing. So yesterday I had a guy who reached out to me, Mozen, I think. He asked me, he's selling an Excel video. And he was asking me, can I do LinkedIn advertising for it? And I was like, how much is the Excel video? Because I've heard anything from $100 to $10. And he said, I'm selling for $7 a pop. I'm like, oh, LinkedIn advertising starts at 25 per pop. So I don't know how you're gonna make money out of that. I think you'd be out of pocket before you actually make more money out of it. And he's like, oh, what do I do? So I said, like, wow, this is a trick. So events, do a live, give people the video who attended the live and pay like $10 for it. And then you have the email list of those people who sign up but didn't attend, and you can reach out to them. And it's actually remarketing. It's not even cold marketing, because they actually express interest. So if you're listening to this is for you. Take it, run with it, make a lot of money, come back, credit me. But for Entre itself, this is what I can see. We go in and we run a room. All right, you can run a room. I know you run a room, and the first time around you didn't kick off. And this is my little tip for you. Maybe it will work. Give it a try. Is that I know you're very good at giving very intensive courses, and I know it because I did a workshop for $30, and then I get 3 coaches to look at it, and they're like, "Are you?" That's like 150 worth in there, because you went in like design and like customer journey. You're going into marketing. That's like dude, you're undercharging. I'm like, oh, okay. So what I did was I break it up. I broke it up, so like marketing part, video editing part, video creation part, and now each of them is about $40. So for you, what I'll say is take whatever that you have and just streamline it down to like main chapters that you have of podcasting itself and touch on 5 points each. All right?
Yeah.
Do like about an hour, 60 minutes, and charge them instead of like $100, charge them like $20 or even $10 to start with. All right.
I think you're right. I think that's the right strategy, because you've got to also build up your brand and you've got to prove up your credibility. And I think if you're a cold audience or you're a cold prospect or someone that's just seen you, yes, they'll do their due diligence and see you online and maybe see that you've got social proof and you've got recommendations, but still there's that friction there because they haven't heard or seen you. So I think you're absolutely right. And that's what I'm actually going to be doing, is I'm going to be doing a series of like podcast related, like, 10 ways to just start a podcast, 10 ways to grow your podcast, 10 ways to monetize your podcast, 10 ways to kind of get, additional sponsors, and then actually break it down into segments and make it affordable. That's the way I'm going to go. I think, and then obviously in terms of, recruiting, careers advice as well, how to get your job, how to stay in your job, how to get the promotion, how to grow your network, how to start your business, all of those things, and then in bite-sized type form, but in manageable, affordable levels, I think is the way forward. So yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think we're talking the same language, and I think Entre is perfectly made for that.
Absolutely. So you see, especially now I want to give some highlights to Cindy Lou. Cindy Lou itself is amazing. She is one of the best community builder that I know out of New Zealand itself, and she is everywhere, and she's one of the best supporters you can ever have. So if you guys don't know Cindy Lou yet, check her out on LinkedIn and on Entre. She's also on Entre itself. So what happens is this. I've learned this from Cindy Lou herself, and I've learned it from Clubhouse, is that before you actually start selling, do welcome rooms. Do rooms that introduce people to the platform itself, because then, like for me, I have now with Leah, with she's gonna kill me, Rachel, Leah, and I, we came together. We bonded. We know each other quite well. We do 3 very different kind of services, and we kind of match each other. So we have skills. I mean, social media. One's an executive coach, and one's a dietitian. So we kind of need each other in the sense. So we set up welcome rooms every week. Every time you're free, we pop in and we help people. And Cindy Lou does that really well. She does a New Zealand club. I think they had just had a room this morning when I was coming in. And then that's where you actually build a community.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to sell to those community. Please don't do that. But to just actually build a community first. And then from there, you can actually have now a place where people are following you and you go like, oh, I want to know more about podcasting. Then I would like them to Robert itself. I want to know more about how do I do videos. They come to me. And then how do I do, I need an executive coach to help me with balancing myself with cannabinoids. I don't know what she's used the word. that thing, that
one of
thing.
those words.
Yeah, it's a chemical name for it. I just don't know what it is. It's like that's what I call it. And then so do that first. Set up your community. Build a community around you wherever you go, and let people know that you have actually tips that they can grow with without charging them money, because they need to know, like, and trust you. That's very, very big. And then siphon them off based on interest and based on expressed interest that they're going to benefit from you if they join a smaller room, or detailed room, and then you niche. What do we call niche now? Exactly, just as that. So tell us now, Robert, what can we learn from you on Clubhouse and on LinkedIn and on?
Yeah, so the things you can learn from me is, if you're a lawyer, I can help you secure your dream job. Okay, that is my staple is recruitment. So broader than that, outside of the law, I've been in the recruitment and talent space for over a decade. I started in the FTSE 250 business. I moved to a boutique. I scaled next to that, and now I've set up my own business. I've been in multiple markets. So if you're a job seeker or you're looking for your next career opportunity, I can help you with that as well. Moreover, as an extension, as I've evolved in this digital world, I'm also a global podcaster where I'm the host of the Legally Speaking podcast, where we've grown that from nothing to the top 2.5% podcast globally in 2,700 cities worldwide, over 122 episodes, and now we're making money through sponsorship and various other routes. So I can help you with launching and scaling and growing and monetizing a podcast. I can also help you with building a personal brand. I went from very, very few followers to tens of thousands of followers on LinkedIn. I can help you with getting more speaking engagements. I can help you with growing your internal confidence. I can help you with removing those barriers within your head. So these are all things that I'm very passionate about and I can help you with. So anything related to jobs, recruitment, careers, podcasting, personal branding, I would love to hear from you and talk to you.
There we go. And where do we find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, 100%, at Robert Hanna. That's very much my URL. Just type in Robert Hanna KC Partners. That's my talent solutions content creation firm. But more importantly, you need to start getting into the social audio space. So you can find me at Robert Hanna on Entre. You can find me at Robert Hanna on Clubhouse. You can find me at Robert Hanna on Wisdom. You can find me at Robert Hanna on Green Room. So we really need to be aware that we need to wake up and smell the coffee, that, you know, social audio is here to stay. And so find me there and I'll be more than happy to connect with you, collaborate with you, talk to you and see what we can do.
Exactly. And I'm Sebastian, so LinkedIn Seb. You can find me everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Entre itself, because I'm more towards videos and audio altogether. So this is it. This is us for today. I want to thank you so much for this quick chat. And I hope to see you more in our lives. I hope to see you more in Entre itself. So if you're not there yet, check out both our profiles. In our profiles, there's definitely links. In case you haven't done it yet, put your link up there that people can join in. I put up mine in this post itself. Robert, what you can do is you can put it in the comment section itself as well, so that people actually can follow as well. And then I'll see you guys there. So come to Entre. Right now, there is no point system to do everything. So you can do literally everything on a platform for free. In the future, when it comes to Entre 3.0, I think, you actually have to gain points before you can do any stuff at all. So make sure you're on it now and not later.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Have a good day ahead.
Thank you so much, Seb. Really good to chat.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.